For our final question here, and again, thank you. This has been entertaining and interesting and thought-provoking as always. But I wanted to follow up with one of the great plagues of our field these days, which is the obsession with A-journal publications and, of course, counting A-journal publications. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this is harming the scientific enterprise.
This is a really important topic. And in sports, we say a win is a win. It doesn't matter if you won the game by 1 point, if you won the game by that shot in the last millisecond of the game, you won and you won. That's it. And it looks to me, and many of us in the field, that we have reached the point in management where publishing in A journals, in that very short list of A journals, has come to like a win. It is a win. It doesn't matter what the paper is about. It doesn't matter what methods you used. It doesn't matter if it has implications for practice or not. If you published a paper in one of these 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever A list of A journals you have, it counts. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
Right.
That phrase, it doesn't count. A textbook doesn't count. Book chapter doesn't count.
Right.
Book doesn't count. So how do we get to this place? I love history. I read history books all the time. And in the 1950s, there were 2 reports funded by the Ford Foundation saying that business schools were not doing a good job of training managers, that teaching was based on opinion and subjective experiences, not based on true good research and theories. Therefore, business schools started to hire social scientists. And business schools started to hire sociologists, political scientists, economists, psychologists. And little by little, research certainly became much more rigorous, more theory-oriented, more methodologically sophisticated. And the next thing that happened in business schools is, how do we measure if our school is doing all those things? Are we publishing good research? Are we publishing rigorous research? And at the same time, you have accountability from outside stakeholders. You have, for state schools, you have legislators who are requesting that the universities tell them whether faculty are spending their time wisely and they're doing good quality research. So how do we measure quality of research? How do we measure the impact of research? And one very, very quick, easy way is to say, if you publish your work in these 5 or 6 journals, it's good.
Right.
And interestingly, that was also due to reporters. Like, for example, the FT50, the Financial Times list of journals. The reporters tell us which are the good journals, and if we publish in those journals, the articles published in those journals are considered to be good. So what happens is, because the rankings are based in part on those articles published in those journals, guess what? Deans are rewarding their faculty to publish in those journals because deans want to see their rankings go up, because donors are happy and stakeholders are happy. So this whole thing of judging a book by its cover, by judging an article based on in which journal it was published as good or not good, is causing all kinds of problems. First of all, if you're an assistant professor and you have, let's say, 5 A articles and you need the 6th article to get tenure, and you're going to be evaluated in 6 months, and you have that R&R at an A journal, and you're thinking, you know, one of these hypotheses didn't work out. Shall I just say it didn't work out? Or shall I just take out that whole section from the paper that will certainly increase the chances that my paper will be published? And that junior faculty member is probably thinking, what harm am I doing by taking this out? And what's worse, sometimes a reviewer will tell you, hey, hypothesis 3 was not supported. Your paper is already long. Take it out.
Take it out, right.
So it's not just authors, but also reviewers. So when you think about that pressure to publish, and then combined with insufficient training on methods in many business schools, because doctoral seminars are expensive from the perspective of deans, because the other thing is a dean maybe is dean for 5, 6 years, and then they move on to the next gig. Right? So to nurture a PhD program that will produce star researchers 20 years out,
Right.
That's not something that you will be able to put to your credit
Right.
as a dean. So deans are thinking more about short-term things that will quickly improve what seems to be the prestige of a school, like rankings. So if there's a list of journals in which my faculty need to publish to improve my ranking, that's what I'm going to ask my faculty to do. So it's creating a lot of problems.
Well, you brought up the Financial Times. It's kind of absurd that we, as educated people who spend a long time to learn our craft, outsource the determination of what is right and wrong to journalists, right? I mean, you don't see doctors doing that, or lawyers saying, hey, Washington Post, why don't you guys figure out what the law should be? So how do we get out of that stranglehold?
That is a good question, and the answer will be, hey, Matt, this is our problem, so we need to fix it. So it's our problem.
Yeah.
We know about measurement, we know about quality of research, we know about rigor, then it is up to us to create better measures that will be just as easy to use as an A list that will give us a quick answer to, is this high quality, is it not good quality? So let's put our heads together and think about how can we measure research impact, research usefulness in a way that deans, stakeholders, the media can use quickly and easily, and it will be a more valid measure of quality than a journalist saying, I think this is a good journal.
Are you suggesting we apply our craft to our field?
Yes.
Absurd.
Exactly. So but most importantly, because this is our problem.
Yeah.
It's not the dean's problems. It is not the Financial Times problem. It is our problem. So we really need to think about it.
Yeah.
And in we offer some modest solutions in a paper just published in Academic Management Perspectives titled "An A is an A," and we talk about some things that we could do to deal with this issue. Obviously not perfect, but we hope it's a set of suggestions that will take us in the right direction.
Excellent.
Thank you.